I want to play the sound because I do think it is so important that President Trump refused to answer this question. Because remember, first President Trump said this was a perfect call. Then the evidence came out from the White House that President Trump indeed asked the president of Ukraine to investigate his domestic political rivals, which many experts and authorities, including former Republican Congressman Charlie Dent on this show one day ago, said is a clear abuse of power. President Trump has said he did nothing wrong. Very few Republicans have been willing to come forward and say, oh yeah, this is absolutely fine. Here is Jeff Mason, an excellent and mild-mannered reporter with Reuters, asking President Trump, what did you want President Zelensky to investigate about former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter? Take a listen.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, it was just a follow-up of what I just asked you, sir.
Listen, you ready? We have the president of Finland. Ask him a question.
I have one for him. I just wanted to follow up on the one that I asked you, which
Did
was,
you hear
what
me?
did you want
Did you
him
hear
to
me?
Yes,
Ask
sir.
him a question.
I will, but
I've given you a long answer. Ask this gentleman a question. Don't be rude.
In case of emergency, break glass, and the president of Finland is underneath that glass. But I mean, but why not answer the question if it's perfect, if there's nothing wrong with it?
Here's what's so remarkable, and I'm so glad you played that. We've all had experiences with the president interviewing the president. Well, maybe not you, but most of us.
But I envy you so much.
And we've watched so many times when the thing about him is he always answers the question. The fact that he didn't answer that question is because he didn't want to.
Mr. Rogers and Ms. Geiger, would you please stand? The jury having reached a verdict, I will now announce it. We, the jury, find unanimously that the defendant did not cause the death of Botham Jean while under the immediate influence of sudden passion arising from an adequate cause, and assess the defendant's punishment at 10 years imprisonment in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. In addition, we assessed a fine of $0, and it's signed by the presiding juror. Would you like to have the jury poll?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any legal reason why this sentence should not now be imposed?
Not at all.
It is therefore the order, judgment, and decree of the court that you be taken by the Sheriff of Dallas County and safely transported by her to an agent or representative of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and there you shall be confined until your sentence is discharged. Your sentence will begin today, and you will receive credit for any back time that you have.
No responsible government should subsidize Iran's bloodlust. As long as Iran's menacing behavior continues, sanctions will not be lifted. They will be tightened.
So how are the Trump comments playing in Iran? Let's go live to Tehran and bring in CNN's Fred Pleiken. Fred, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Dave. Needless to say, those comments aren't playing very well. It was one of the interesting things about President Trump's speech is, on the one hand, during that entire segment when he was speaking about Iran, he was ripping into the Islamic Republic and its leadership the entire time, as you said, saying that sanctions will be tightened and certainly not loosened at this point in time. But at the end, he said that the U.S. doesn't want to have permanent enemies and is ready to embrace other countries as well. Now, does that mean that there might be a chance for some sort of new diplomacy between these two countries? Does it mean there might even be a meeting on the sidelines of the UN? Well, certainly the Iranian president, Hassan Rouhani, in an interview seemed to say that that's not going to be the case. He was saying in an interview there that right now the U.S., as he put it, had left the diplomatic circles, and the Iranians certainly wouldn't come back. And I want you to take a look at what happened with the Iranian foreign minister when our cameras caught up with him. He also seemed to say no as well. Let's listen in.
Mr. Zarif, has there been any progress in the talks with the United States, sir?
We don't talk to the United States.
We don't talk to the United States there, the Iranian foreign minister is saying. But that doesn't mean that other countries aren't trying, especially the French president, Emmanuel Macron. He had meetings yesterday with Hassan Rouhani, and of course, he had been meeting with President Trump as well. And he's saying that he believes the time is right now for these two leaders to meet. And if they don't meet at the UN, it would be a wasted opportunity.
Just in this hour, let me just recap for you here. The president's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, subpoenaed by House Democrats. Our new CNN poll reveals 47% support the impeachment and removal of President Trump. And now, an official confirming to CNN, the president pressed Australia's prime minister in a recent phone call, pressing the prime minister to help the attorney general with his review of the origins of the Russia probe. The story was first reported by the New York Times, but CNN's Evan Perez joins me now with more of his reporting. So you're learning a little bit more about this call and also about the apparently the prompting that was done by the Attorney General to get the president to make that call.
That's right, Erica, and it goes beyond Australia. The Attorney General is closely managing this investigation of the origins of the Mueller investigation, the 2016 election interference. And so one of the things that they're doing, according to an official we talked to just a little while ago, is that they're asking, the Justice Department is asking the president to intervene and ask other foreign countries to help with this investigation, which is being managed by John Durham, a prosecutor out of Connecticut. And so it goes beyond Australia. There are other countries that provided intelligence that ended up being part of the Mueller investigation that now the Justice Department and the Trump administration say they need the foreign help, these help of these foreign countries with. So stay tuned. We'll see whether or not he has talked to other countries with exactly the same thing in mind.